It's considered one of Omaha's most heinous killings. Tonight, we hear from one of the jurors who found the Creighton killer, Anthony Garcia, guilty of a revenge-driven rampage. Finding Garcia guilty, thousands of documents and hours of witness testimony. The fate of Anthony Garcia came down to 6 men and 6 women. Good evening. I'm Jennifer Griswold.
And I'm Craig DeGrelli. One juror tells KMTV they poured everything into the trial and made a thorough, logical decision. Senior reporter Jake Wazakowski has followed the case from the start and has the interview. Jake?
Guys, there were the graphic crime scene photos that the jury can't unsee, but one tells me that didn't stop them from making a fair judgment. For 16 days, jurors hear testimony and arguments in the Anthony Garcia quadruple murder trial. He's now convicted of killing Thomas Hunter and Shirley Sherman in 2008 and Dr. Roger and Mary Brumback in 2013 as revenge for being fired from Creighton in 2001.
It was beyond anything you could imagine.
Juror Drew Lyons takes us through the 7 hours they deliberated to come to the unanimous decision of guilty on all counts. He says first they decided what witnesses were credible and who wasn't credible. Then they spent a lot of time creating timelines to make sure it was feasible for Garcia to kill the Brumbacks and commit the Dundee murders.
We were able to reach consensus on virtually everything, and the way the prosecution had constructed the case, it actually was a fairly, I don't want to say simple, but it was a logical progression.
They also discussed every piece of evidence, the gun, phone records, and the DNA. Lyons says they dissected each crime so no one was guilty by association.
We actually considered both murder scenes separately. We thought that was very important, and that they had to be independently corroborated.
Though it didn't influence his decision, Lyons says the gruesome crime scene photos and what happened to young Tommy Hunter won't soon leave him. In the end, he's still confident the responsible party was found guilty.
I have absolutely no qualms in my mind at all that we made the right decision and that he's the guy and he's a bad guy. Just in general, he may not have been done.
The jury then came back on Friday of last week and found there were 10 aggravating circumstances to make Garcia eligible for the death penalty. That hearing hasn't been scheduled with the 3-judge panel yet. Reporting live in the news center, Jake Wazakowski, KMTV Action 3 News.
Omaha police are trying